anyone and everyone. And once more they march into the one shared territory of Shakhtar, displaced quasi-nomadic, but driven by... Travelling Manchester City supporters, these are familiar greetings. A fifth meeting in just under... His international status is such that his appointment in the last batch of Euro 2020 qualifiers. Introduction of 20-year-old Israeli Manor Solomon for a Champions League debut in place of the injured of your skippers, and as widely presupposed, fills in at centre-half for the ailing Stones and Lums, Marlos and Mariah, who has 5 in his last 3 games. Two years running, eliminated by a team that lagged behind them in the Premier League. No reason
here last season again.
It's De Bruyne's free kick.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Peter, he's taking up the left-sided berth.
And Sterling Ismaili in by De Bruyne. Nudged back across towards
the City movement tonight as well. I think they're going to need to be extra alert to stop Guardiola's men.
Gundogan. Sterling, oh, too clever by half. Forward. Rodri is between them. Jesus beyond the back stick. Piatov plunge, Dyson from full back. And there is Ismaili. What an outstanding. Fernandinho. Sterling was in. Castro. Mahrez. It's Mahrez. Mendy was creeping in blindside. Couldn't apply a touch. But it closed down was Marlos, but he'll get another crack at it. It's Marlos! Who is capable of the special from that sort of range.
Yeah, well, the first attempt on his left was blocked, but he scored at the weekend very similarly with great curling. He never quite managed it.
Jesus on by De Bruyne. Gundogan. And Walker didn't catch it.
There's a vigilance.
Walker for Sterling. There's Gundogan. Here they come with Gundogan. He set it for Sterling. Has feathered it through here for Sterling. And Sterling's cross is denied access to De Bruyne by a smart flick away by Matvienko. Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez.
Cope with Pep's team.
He is their most regular visitor. Gundogan. That's a sweet pass, and that's Jesus. Yeah, who ran out of space.
He gets a corner out of it, but could he have hit it just a fraction earlier? I thought maybe he had the opportunity.
And Jesus, and Gundogan has hit the post, and Morris thundered it in, and Manchester City lead a long, long way from home. It is a lead that the first 20 minutes here had demanded, and upon which City, with their attacking thrust, had insisted. Riyad Mahrez, 1-0 to the... marks the launch of the Champions League campaign, which follows on from that. Algerian. As mentioned, 4 for Leicester, 2 now for City. Here's Ismaili, who had his feet taken from beneath him by a retreating Rodri, and expanded his first into the book.
Yeah, and he knows.
And Marlos out for Jesus. Patrick Ismaili. Otamendi got fortunate. Tardonetsk. And Mariah! Directly into the chest of an outrushing Ederson.
I think he should have been clever and more composed and finished.
Sterling. Raheem Sterling. Those 3. 1 point between them so far, but here is Mahrez. And there, rushing through, was Ilkay Gundogan to double City's comfortable lead. This is a display of smooth dominance from Pep's team. And the hint is that they are pulling gently away.
But you have to go back to that Junior Moraes chance. You know, had he put that away completely...
To Jesus, who's rolled it here for Kevin De Bruyne! So cutting, so smooth again, and only lacking for the finish.
Yeah, well, he tried to pick a spot, didn't he, and just sneak it inside the right post and didn't quite measure it to...
90 seconds. That's a lovely ball from Tyson. And Moraes looked to go one way while sending Ederson the other. He has tumbled.
I think it's a really good decision by Ederson not to commit to that, because he bided his time and he waited to see what Moraes was going to do, and it was crucial. What about the ball from Tyson though at the outside of the right foot? Exquisite.
De Bruyne. There's Jesus, keeper committed.
De Bruyne takes up a lot. Now, he is just off Jesus. I think it's a good call from the assistant.
Stepanenko. Morris again. Raheem Sterling. 38, based on possession, skill and certainty. City might... of 8 games on opening nights in this competition. They lost, introducing for his first appearance in this competition in these colours, Yves, for his country and for his various clubs. There was a point in history where he was... Marlos emerges, and here's Junior Moraes. Fernandakos playing in midfield with Ilano. Moraes got there first, and trying a lob.
And a little more accuracy with that, then it would have been an embarrassing moment. And we saw it from Junior Moraes then, and the right.
Jesus, Gundogan, Zinchenko, lovely. Jesus!
Involved in an awful lot, and it was just the little flick around that, certainly.
Who surges once more. Piatov makes the save, it's presented in centre, Sterling! Who hits the frame of the goal.
2 gifts, not taken. I think Gundogan's been great. The anticipation to actually pinch that, to get there. It was Castro might be trying to encourage that now.
Jesus. De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Mahrez.
In that Carrow Road, but he's responded in kind.
Gundogan, just too much for Sterling. Sterling and Gundogan. Piatov did enough against the odds.
Well, 2 things. The touch, the first touch from Gundogan wasn't good enough. It got away from him. But even...
Tyson. Moraes shoulder to shoulder with Otterjee. There's De Bruyne. Piatov is flapping. Sterling is twisting and the flag is raised.
Yeah, presumably for an offside. Play carried on, the flag had gone up. Piatov, Peter, that he played a part too of the goals for...
Jesus swept it on. Walker swept forward. Flung in by Morris and pocketed by Piatov. Morris. Sterling's appearance. Sterling. De Bruyne spears it wide.
Well, I know it's on his supposed weaker left, but you still kind of expect him to find the bottom corner, and he had a very good chance first half as well, with which he hit the side netting.
His last Champions League appearance, which finished Manchester City 7, Schalke 0. And here's De Bruyne. Rodri. Gundogan. 1. Gabriel Jesus onside, eyeball to eyeball. 3-0 City. Took a while to come. When it did come, it was Gabriel Jesus who hounded these opponents last season and has the better of them once more.
And Manchester City basically playing Shakhtar Donetsk at their own game, just hitting them on the counter-attack. And this was a choice, wasn't it, for De Bruyne? Does he go to his right or does he go left?
Sterling. And Mendy. This year's Champions League are the English champions. Pep Guardiola's match.
3 goals to nil. They were excellent on the night. Pablo Zabaleta and Steve McManaman on